Hey everybody, welcome back to the Hard Park 703 channel. So I've been researching for years now how to quiet down an exhaust. And I'm not talking about like the valved exhaust, like that helps, but I've never had a vehicle so loud. I've had like four cylinder, forced induction vehicles and stuff, and so even at their loudest, they were not as loud as the vet. And so for years, I just kept researching the cold start. The cold start is the problem. Once the vehicle is already warmed up, it's not that bad. But man, in the morning, it's bad. And then now that it's cold, it just goes like to 10 times worse. And I'm like OCD with trying to be a good neighbor. So I don't want to bother anybody. And nobody has complained yet to my face, but I've heard there are some neighbors that are upset with how loud my car is because they say it's like a bomb going off, and they can feel like their kitchen like shake. So I believe them. I could only imagine if mine was aimed at my house, then it would probably do the same thing. But since mine is aimed out, it just shakes the rest of the neighborhood. And I can't back in my car because of the angle. Literally, my driveway is like that, so I can't back it in. So, anyways, I Googled how to quiet down a cold start. And I'm telling you, I Googled this way before and nothing was coming up. So this has to be a more recent thing. Maybe one of you guys will be like, no, this has been around for a while. Well, then I just found out. Okay, so I saw a bunch of people doing this on YouTube, and it looks like it works in the videos. It looks like it's 100% efficient. And so I already started trying it out. And so now let me show you. I'm going to film this I filmed a segment already, and now I'm filming the beginning of the video. So let me not convolute all this or whatever, and let me show you how I'm going to start. So all the videos start with a pool noodle. And so they say this is the main way to quiet down your exhaust. And you need to get a pool. There's two types of pool noodles, right? You got to get the pool noodle that's hollow on the inside. Because you don't want to block your exhaust. You're gonna stuff the pool noodle into your exhaust tips, but obviously you don't want to block the exhaust flow, so you need to get the one that's hollow. And then every video, same thing. It was the same like dimensions. So they said get like about a 2.5 inch pool noodle, and so that's what I did. And they say like measure out, like roughly 10 inches, and then you mark it and you're gonna cut. So this side's a little, like my pool noodle came in the mail like this, like all wrapped up and stuff, so I gotta like straighten it out. But so 10 inches, 10 inches, 10 inches, and then I'll use this other edge because obviously it's kind of like, it's less, like all bent out of shape and stuff. But anyways, okay, so let's say you've got like 4-inch tips or something, right? If you have 4-inch tips, it's okay. You're just gonna wrap microfiber towels around this, maybe 1 or even 2, and then you can duct tape it, and then that way when you push it into the because it depends on like how much back pressure you have. Some vehicles, it might be fine, it might stay in there, but I saw one instance, this guy had his C8 Corvette and it just shot it out. So he really had to wrap a couple microfibers around it, and then he put the duct tape, so then everything just stays in place, so he doesn't have to keep wrapping the towels every single time. Just do it that way. Just get to the width you want, and then that way you shove it in there, and you're fine. And so now you'll ask, well, aren't you going to melt all that stuff? And the videos, once again, all answered the same thing. Your exhaust, I guess, takes probably like about a minute to get hot. So they said like no longer than like 60 seconds per se. And so that's all the time I need. I just need to be able to start the car and back it out into the driveway. And at about a minute, it finally goes quiet. And so whether the valves are open or closed and stuff, it quiets down significantly, fully open or closed and stuff. You'll hear the decibels obviously go down. So that's all you need, about 60 seconds. And so then you just pull them out. And so you're not gonna melt anything. All right, so I'm going to cut these real quick, and then we'll move on to the next part. You can use a standard kitchen knife. to cut these. It's really easy. They're all about the same. I mean, I measured out 10 inches. I don't know how this one came out longer, but whatever. I mean, 10 inches is more than enough. I mean, let's say it sticks to like about, let's say the tip, you're going to stick it in about like that much anyways. You just need enough to be able to pull it out. So that's it. It's not like you're gonna shove it 10 inches all the way into the pipe, you know. I'm trying not to laugh with talking this way, but you guys get what I'm getting at. So yeah, anyways. All right, let me show you the next portion. I was just really trying to avoid "that's what she said" moments. So anyways, let's just focus on the task at hand. Next part of it is gonna be, you're gonna wrap the pool noodle with your microfiber towels. Just get really cheap ones. Just get them at Walmart or something like that. Like these are those, like, there's like the dish, like drying ones or whatever like that. So obviously they don't compare to like the vehicle type. These are like, they're not soft at all. So, I mean, this is okay for your exhaust and stuff like that, but I don't think I'm going to be wiping down my vehicle with something as harsh as this on the paint. But yeah, so I'm going to put one in, see how it fits, and then if need be, then I'm going to wrap another one around us. So let's go take a look. Okay, let's see. It's pretty dirty. Let's just do it in one of the middle ones first. So put that in. Okay, so that's as far as it goes. So see how much is left out. Like literally, it's already all the way in. Because obviously the tips are a certain size, but then the piping. Just making sure my cat didn't come out. And then the piping is much smaller, so it's not going to go all the way in. It's literally just going to stop right there. So as far as in as it goes, it's a good seal. It's just that I feel like this isn't enough, because in the other videos, they put it in just like this, and with the amount of back pressure, this thing just shot out. Even though I have a bin that would go right here, but I think I'm going to double wrap it, see if it stays in place a little bit firmer. Like, I tried putting this other one over this and just wrapping it over this, but they're just getting a little loose. So I think I'm just gonna put the duct tape on one and then wrap like another one and put another thing of duct tape. So let's get to that. We'll go over this, and then we will go over the box right after. All right, so simple. It's not sliding up and down. All right, so I'm just gonna wrap this around it real quick. We're gonna go put it into the tip. If it's a really, really tight fit, then at least now I know I can tighten this thing down with another layer of duct tape, and we'll be good to go. And then we just do that 4 times over. And yeah. Okay, so double wrapped. Let's see if, oh yeah, because this way you'll kind of like just twist it in, right? Oh, that's not going anywhere. Once that's in, that's not going anywhere. Okay, so yeah, it's got to be double wrapped. So this right here, like the back pressure is not going to kick this out. This is going to be solid in there, and it's easy enough for you to just pull out. Okay, that's awesome. Good to know. They're on extra tight, and I figured just 2 gray ones for the outer tips, and then 2 blue for the inner. You know, it's just easier to keep track that way or whatever. That's just my OCD kicking in. I know they're a little bent, obviously, so I'm thinking, you know, I'm probably going to have them aim down a little bit, you know, instead of them aim up or to the side and stuff, so then that way they just dump right into the box. So I'll talk about the box in a second. Let's put these into all 4 tips, see what it looks like, and let me see what it feels like and stuff like that, and then I'll move on to the box. So they're all in, really, really snug. Funny, the 2 outer ones fit snugger than this one. I'm thinking it's just because of all the built up, what do you call it, like carbon or all that soot, you know, that builds up, obviously, since that's like the straight pipe. So that's probably what's causing the extra friction, which is great, because I feel like these 2 outer ones are obviously the ones that produce more back pressure. So the 2 outer ones are nice and solid. These are in there snug, just these are extra, extra snug. And they're all dumping down. So you understand the point of, obviously, it's got to be cut out, right? You can't just block your exhaust flow. So it has to be the cut out ones. So let's move on to the box, and then that way we'll talk about everything. The pool noodles alone are what's going to make the most difference. It should go really, really, really quiet. And in the fact that I've got the valve as well. So my plan is tomorrow, because I'm gonna wake up early to wash the car. So my plan is to obviously crank on the vehicle tomorrow morning. And you can leave those pool noodles in there until like your exhaust tips start heating up, which I heard is like roughly like 60 seconds, a little bit longer, you know. So at least that way I can leave them in and back the car out. for the purposes of the video, I'm gonna crank it on and I'm gonna leave it running for like, 5 seconds or whatever with the valve open, and then I'm gonna go with the valve closed, and I'm gonna have the camera behind the car the entire time, so then that way I'll see what it really sounds like from the perspective of someone standing behind the vehicle, right? AKA like my neighbors who are across the street. And to take it a step further, I'm also gonna obviously talk about the box, and I don't know if I wanna put the box back there for the first segment. I might do it for like a cold start on Sunday, because tomorrow's Saturday. And then that way I can see like how quiet it is with just the pool noodles, and then I can see how much extra quiet it is with the box behind it. So let's get into the box. You're gonna go to wherever you want to go to. I went to Walmart, and you're just gonna get yourself one of these like big storage bins and stuff, and then you're gonna put the bin up to your exhaust tips, and you're gonna see like how wide your exhaust tips are from one end to another. And so this is roughly what I measured, right? So I cut that, and then they should all be able to fit in here. Like the pool noodles, the extensions should be able to go in here. So let me show you what's inside. The next pieces that you have to buy as well. All right, so Amazon or wherever you would go to get that acoustic, like the acoustic panels that you would put on a wall, like so it reverberates, or I don't know what the term is, but it's gonna bounce the sound back. It's not gonna let it go through. So just get a whole bunch of these. I got them on Amazon. I got a whole bunch of them, relatively cheap. And so yeah, so you're gonna fill the box with that, but you're gonna fill the bottom of the box, right? You're gonna fill the bottom of the box. You see, you're gonna get one of those moving blankets. So get yourself one of those, just a basic moving blanket, right? Like it's pretty big. It fills up the whole bottom of the box and stuff, right? So it's the entire length of the box and everything. Sorry, I just don't want to take all these things out. I shoved them in there like perfectly. Okay, so then you're gonna line this up, right? Because you don't want the box like vibrating or anything like that. You want to try to contain as much sound as possible. So the moving blanket all the way in the bottom, like stuff it all the way in there. Then you're gonna stuff these all around. So I stuffed it on the bottom. It doesn't matter. Obviously, the orientation of the box doesn't matter, but yeah, all around the sides, right? So top, bottom, side, and then I put 2 in the middle. You could probably just get away with 1, but I had this extra one, so I was like, why not just use it, So let me shove them back in there first. So everything's back in there. You're gonna need to leave a little bit of room though, obviously, so you're gonna close it, right? You can't have it filled all the way up to here because of the exhaust. The point is for the exhaust tips. Okay. Vehicle's here, the exhaust tips are right here, and they're pointed this way, right? So out the garage this way. This is gonna be at the entrance of the garage. So the tips don't just go here. The tips have to go into the box. So you need to leave enough room for the tips to actually go into the box. So you can't just fill it up to right here. Otherwise, the sound is probably going to escape and go outwards and stuff, You need it to fill in here. So now that I'm talking to you guys, I'm thinking, well, maybe this thing's too close, right? I might just do better with maybe just that one. Or maybe I could just cut this one and put it there. Well, whatever. Okay. We'll try it out, man. It doesn't matter. Because even if that like the pool noodle is like touching right here, obviously this is all porous and stuff, so it's not like I'm blocking exhaust flow. I just really need it to be contained in here. So I'm gonna seal this up because I already tested out just the box with the tips and no pool noodle. And so the camera was back here, and you can definitely tell a difference. However, since the tips were only coming to right here, because I couldn't put this up, it was up against the plastic, and there's still this much gap. You could tell the sound escapes up it and out, because this isn't, like, it's on here, but you see there's a gap. So I'm gonna have to use this to like tape it down and create a good seal, But not just that, but today I was driving. I took the car to the gym or whatever, and I noticed I put this behind the vehicle, and when I started it up, all the, I guess, condensation or whatever, just so much pressure just blew up it. And so you can tell that the box is so dirty, like all that, it just spit all the stuff up onto the box. And then my back windshield got splattered with all of that, like black soot. and stuff, you know. And then my rear view camera also just went like completely dark. So it just goes to show that it doesn't work without the pool noodles. You could try to deaden the sound, but the fact that your tips are only going to come to here, it's going to work a little bit, but not what you're thinking, you know. So even when I went with the valves closed, I mean, it's basically the equivalent of you're just putting something in front of your exhaust tips. And so that's what was quieting it down. It didn't really quiet it down the way you would think a sound chamber would. So it's got to work together. Well, I mean, it doesn't look like it's a good solution, but it's an attempt. So obviously there's still going to be a gap right here, but at least with extra tension. Crap, this is already peeling off. Okay, I'm gonna have to redo that one. But anyways, I was gonna put one right here, but whatever. All right, just as long as this thing like just stays somewhat a little bit more sealed. I mean, I've already got one on the inside anyways, and it extends to right here, so it's not like it's allowing too much sound to get out. And the fact that whichever side is, if it's this side that's up or this side that's up, doesn't really matter, because the pool noodles are kind of pointed down anyways, and that's what I wanted. I don't want the sound to travel out into the air. I would rather travel at least in the direction of the ground, right? So then it keeps the sound waves maybe a little bit further lower or whatever, instead of escaping out and becoming extra loud. So it is what it is. It's an attempt, but let me put this behind the car and show you. Discovered this is going to probably be important. All right, if you cut here, you know, I sanded it down, okay? I used the files that I have, and I sanded down the plastic, you know. I was cutting here, setting, you know, sanding, blah, blah, blah. Well, anyways, even if it was somewhat smooth, when I put this up against the pool noodles, and I'll show you in a second. When I put this up against the pool noodles, it's just the right height, but the top edge, whichever the top edge is going to be, whether this is flipped upside down or not, it kind of like, what do you call it? It kind of like hangs on the pool noodle a little bit. It like pulls down on it. So I don't want the pool noodles to start like getting cut up eventually, you know? So I just put nice tape on there, nice and flat. So let's put it in the back of the car. And okay, so you see what I'm saying? Like, they're all kind of pointed, well, they are pointed down. You can see that they're pointed down, and I am fortunate enough that it actually worked out this way. Why? Because if these were pointed straight out, I don't think they would clear the top of it. Okay, so like I remember when I was saying like the noodle is getting caught on the edge of this thing. It's only this one, because all the other ones are bent further down. So it's just this one. So like when I put it up against it, kind of weighs down on it. But so that's the point. So the whole setup, these are going to go in here. They're going to travel in here. I'll redo this in the morning, because obviously there's not a lot of light right now. But point being, you're just going to put it just like that. So see, there's a gap and everything, and it's just enough. It's just enough for the noodles to feed in there. And so now when I start it up, it should be technically whisper quiet, because tomorrow morning I'm going to start it up from this angle, and we shouldn't really hear anything with both of them together. However, like I told you guys, I'm probably going to do the initial startup with just the pool noodles, see what it sounds like, and then wait 24 hours for a true cold start again on Sunday, and then I'll do the box right behind it, and we'll see the difference. So basically what you guys are going to see is all the variations of like, so like I told you, I already did one with just the box and the stock tips with no pool noodles, right? And then I'll do the pool noodles, and then I'll do the pool noodles with feeding into the box. So let me put this for a second. So yeah, so it'll be all three instances, and so for that matter you guys can see how much quieter it keeps getting. So hopefully this works. I mean, it literally worked for everybody on the YouTube videos, so I'm doing exactly what I saw. So hopefully it comes out that way. But yeah, so I'll crank this thing on in the morning, and we'll take it from there. All right, it's morning. Let me put the pool noodles in, and we'll get started. First off, I guess we're just gonna try the sound deadening box without any pool noodles or anything like that to see if, you know, it absorbs some sound compared to out here. So I'm gonna put this camera back here, see what it sounds like compared to, you know, what it normally sounds like on startup. So I'm gonna go ahead and put this nice and close, make sure it's even on both sides. It looks like it's pretty even on both sides. And just make sure this is here, like that. Yeah, that should be good. Okay, let's find out if this works. Okay, this is normally where I put the camera anyways, so yeah, it should be pretty good. Okay, all right, I'm gonna start the car up. Let's see, hopefully it doesn't knock it back or anything. Funny thing, they actually went in smoother today. Probably because when I shoved them in last night or whatever, it cleaned kind of the soot a little bit or whatever. So now it just slid more into place, but nice and solid, all of them. So should work. Hopefully none of these shoot out right now for this test. All right, live fire exercise number 1. Shooter on the line. Shooter ready. Ready. Let's do it. Okay, that was an epic fail. I was not expecting them to shoot out like that. They literally, like, I already backed the car out, obviously, but like, if the car was in the garage, they shot out to like out here. I'm talking about like it was like a Nerf weapon. Let me show you also what happened with the interior pool noodles. Okay, so obviously, I think these are gonna have to be triple wrapped, at least the outer ones. Like I said, there's probably more back pressure being created in the outer tips than the inner tips, so I'm probably gonna have to triple wrap this and really tighten them in there, which is fine. I mean, you're not hurting anything, but the noodle was right here, obviously at the edge, right? So I guess it just has so much pressure that the towel and everything was wedged up against the inside of the tip, right? And it just like was starting to shove the noodle out, you know. All the pressure that was building up or whatever. So hopefully, even if I triple wrap it and it stays in place better, hopefully the noodle doesn't just shoot out from the middle, you know? So we will try. I'm gonna wash the car and everything like that. I'm gonna enjoy the car today and stuff. And then tomorrow morning, I'll do another cold start with the box this time. Well, I mean, if I do the box, then we're not going to be able to tell if these... Well, yeah, I mean, even if the box is there in place, I mean, we'll obviously tell if these things shot out or not because they'll obviously be out of the tip. So, yeah, I'll do the box tomorrow, and I'll do the tips with 3 layers on them. Or I'll do these pool noodles with 3 layers on it on the exterior tips. So we'll see. That was a huge disappointment. Again, I want another shot at this. The car's cold enough. It's completely cooled down and stuff like that, and it's not even warm outside yet. So I think it'll be a good cold start. The car was super loud in the last segment, as you heard. It's going to be just as loud in this segment, and so the point is just for you guys to hear if all these noodles stay in place, you should notice a significant difference in the sound of what you heard with the other pool noodles shooting out. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to triple wrap all of these. And I'm going to put twice as much tape. So I'm going to put tape towards the top right here on the tip and then down here. So then that way, hopefully the noodle doesn't start sliding out again, like in with like the gray one that I just showed you. So yeah, so I'm gonna do that now, and then I'll set the camera up in the back when I'm gonna reverse the car out of the driveway, and hopefully this stays in place. So third layer is on the first one, but you know what I'm thinking though? If I put another one of these pieces of tape up here, right? Obviously it shrinks the what do you call it, the circumference diameter. You get what I'm saying? Like it's a smaller, it'll be smaller like surface area, right? So I'm thinking if I just tape the third layer towards the bottom right here, but then leave this open kind of like so it can expand, I'm thinking it might be able to, like if I can just, right, because I twist them in. So if I can twist this in and then this thing stays expanded, it might help against like it being shoved out. But if I tape it and then I really squeeze this down and stuff, the tape might just be making this whole thing thinner, and it might be creating a smoother surface for the thing to shoot out. So I'm thinking I'm gonna test it this way. I'm just gonna put them towards the bottom first, and I'm gonna leave the tops open, and we'll see how it works. I just tried to fit these in the tailpipe, and it has to be taped. Like it starts deforming too much. It won't fit. So I'm gonna tape them up real quick, okay, and then. So they're all double taped and they're squeezed in there. To be honest, I mean, like I said, the tape shrinks it down. So for that matter, they fit in there. It's just it wasn't too hard to get them in there. So if it wasn't too hard to get them in there, it might not be that hard for them to blow out again. So I shoved them in there as far as possible. We'll see. I really hope this works. The only other thing would be to put the box behind it, which I'll film that tomorrow. And then I guess the box, since it'll be here, like it'll be right here with the opening and everything, they'll just, if they shoot out, at least they shoot out into the box, you know. And since there's so much padding and stuff, it's basically just foam on foam hitting each other, so it shouldn't blow the box back like significantly or something, you know. So let's try this one out. It didn't work. The two middle ones stayed in place, but the other one shot out, as you guys can see. So it obviously shot it out of the, the pool noodle is completely like shot out of what I wrapped in it. Isn't that crazy? Like I made those super tight. I made all three layers super tight. That's how far it shot it. So that blows. So the only other thing I can think of is, I guess just put the box back there. Just put the box back there. But I mean, with that type of force, I'm thinking it's gonna knock the box back. The box weighs nothing, so it's gonna knock the box back too. So I mean, I guess it's worth a shot. I mean, we'll try that tomorrow morning. Okay, so it's Sunday now. I'm gonna attempt the third and final test. Okay, so like one of those pool noodles went nuts yesterday, right? It like just completely like blew it apart. So I figured put some tape on it, right? Wrap it long ways on it, and then put another piece of tape around it, and then I just cut the hole there. So at least this way, if this whole thing is gonna shoot out, then at least it shoots out as a solid piece, and I don't have to keep rewrapping it, because every time I rewrap it, it's a waste of tape. So I did that for this one. The other one didn't seem to have an issue. But anyways, all right, I'm going to put these in. I'm going to put the box behind it. And I'm going to put something heavy behind the box just in case. Because, I mean, these don't weigh anything. And like I said, this is going to hit the inside of the box, which has foam in it. So I don't foresee an issue. But I didn't foresee an issue with any of this stuff. And nothing went according to plan. So I'm just going to play it safe. And I'm going to put something really heavy behind the box to see if the box moves back. And then that would be a stopping point. So, all right, we'll take it from there. Okay, so the noodles are fed into the box. They should be okay. I didn't want to put them completely against the foam in there, but I left a little bit, probably like this much of a gap in between. At least they're all the way in though, so if they shoot out, they're going to shoot out obviously into the opening. And I wanted to leave a little bit of room right there, at least like about a finger, so then that way I can see if this thing moves. If this thing doesn't move at all, then at least I know I don't need anything behind it. But if this thing obviously moves, then I need something super heavy like this. It's really a pain that all of this is going to have to happen from now on. But if this works, then this is what I'll do. Yeah, I didn't trust that. I needed to like raise it up a little bit, because if these shoot out and they were touching the top, I don't know, I'm thinking it's either too close to the top and the sound is really going to travel out of here, or it's going to tip it over. So if it's gonna push it back, I'd rather have it push back dead center, like when they shoot out like Nerf weapons. At least it'll push it back like that instead of tipping it over. So I don't know, that might be my OCD kicking in and stuff, but I think that should be just fine. So still room in the back. Let's all right, fingers crossed. Okay, so it blew out that one, but it definitely blew out this one, obviously. It's still in, I'm gonna have to tape this one. I'm gonna have to tape it. So, one of the pool noodles shot out. If I can keep those pool noodles from completely shooting out, then I think it'll be even quieter than what it is right now. Because obviously it still sound kind of loud because of the fact that obviously the two pool noodles on the sides came out. You know, one slid out a little bit and the other one just completely came out. So if I can at least, I'm gonna push the box from now on. I'm gonna push the box up against it, and then we'll go from there. So I'll do one more with the box up. Right now I'm about to go drive around and stuff like that. But I don't know. Maybe tomorrow I'll do that. I'll finish this video up tomorrow. Then I'll put the box all the way up against it. I'll put tape on the other pool noodle that I didn't think I was gonna need tape with, and I guess this is the situation. I'm probably gonna need something heavy. I'm using ice melt behind it because obviously that box, you know, it flew back a little bit. So all right, it is what it is. We'll try it one more time tomorrow, and then if that doesn't work, then I mean I give it an honest attempt. I try to be a good neighbor. I really wanted to quiet the car down, but if maybe you just can't, like if I've got a lot more stuff to do to the car too, and so I assume back pressure will probably build up even more, and so it'll work for, I guess, a car that has like everything stock on it except for maybe mufflers or something. But if you're going to be putting down like a lot of power and you're going to be upgrading supercharger and everything, then I don't know. It's a bummer. Hey, all right, so it's Monday now. This is going to be the last attempt that we're going to see if it works. Okay, so remember the other one that like blew apart and everything? So now both outer tips are completely wrapped up. So these shouldn't break apart at all. I'm gonna stuff these in there. Everything's triple wrapped. I'm gonna stuff them in as much as possible. Obviously these are probably 99% sure these are gonna shoot out really firmly. So I'm just gonna put the box right up against all this, so then that way at least it absorbs that. It doesn't shoot them out as much as possible, and hopefully they stay in enough where it'll make somewhat of a difference, because this is the last attempt. I'm gonna say I hope it works again, but I said that every single other time and it didn't work. But okay, let me put everything together. We're gonna crank up the car really quick. I'm not gonna take it anywhere, but I'm just gonna crank it on, see if it works, and then we'll go from there. Okay, so I'm thinking this one is gonna shoot out. This one will probably stay in more. Why? Because obviously these are staggered, so this one's on top of this one right here, and so this one has more room, like there's more room for this thing to shoot further in here. This one's going to be up against this with these two. I could try to center it, but it's not wide enough to cover from here to here. So I'm already anticipating this one to shoot out further than this one, but whatever, I'll play with that later. If I can primarily get them to stay in, then this would have been somewhat of a relative success. So let's put them. All right, so they're wedged up in there. I mean, it's completely up against it. So we'll see. I'm gonna put this. All right, so the only last modification I want to do was just put some tape to hold this down, to hold the lid down pretty tightly. So it's really tight. It's not moving now. So I just taped it along the bottom, and so then like I yanked it down, you know, like strapped it down, and then I flipped it over and did the exact same thing. So then that way it's tight on both sides, so as little gap as possible. So that's the only thing. And then put this up right against it. Since we know it actually pushes it back slightly, I just wedged this up against it. So just please work. This is all I want. I think it worked. I think it worked. Let's flip it around. Flip it around. Did it work? Oh my gosh, I think it worked. I mean, it's filling up. Okay, so, all right. Okay, that's something. Okay, it worked. I need to still listen to the footage, see if it even makes a big difference from behind the vehicle, which I think it does, but at least everything stayed in place. As soon as I pulled the box out, obviously the tips fell out, but at least the tips were contained in there. I could even hear a little bit of a difference inside the cabin, that I felt that initial blast wasn't as loud. So yeah, let's take a look. Okay, so we know that these shot out, right? But so I guess they shot out and they were at least up against the tip, because well, the box the box was obviously still in place and it was pushed up all the way here, so they had nowhere to go. So okay, that works for me. That's good enough. As long as it's still creating somewhat of a seal, that's gonna quiet it down a lot more than if these things were to shoot out. So these are not even an issue. I left it running a little bit longer this time and loud, like with the valves open, so then that way you guys could hear, you know, for a good little bit. And then I switched it over to the valves closed, obviously. But all right, this is great. This is great. Okay, now I know at least this works somewhat. You're just gonna need something really heavy always behind this. So, you know, if it's not wintertime and stuff, I don't know, get a kettlebell or something. I don't know, kettlebell, weights, whatever. Wrap then. It's not the best solution, but it's a solution. If you're running high horsepower forced induction, then this is the best you're gonna get, I guess. Like I said, if your vehicle is like mildly modified, then I don't think you'll have an issue with too much back pressure. But as you keep modifying the vehicle more and more and more, I guess that blast is just so strong. And if you got straight pipes, not that I do, then that's going to be an issue. So this is as good as it gets. Maybe there'll be something else that I see, and then that way I can present that information to you guys. But until then, this is pretty much the setup that I'm going to try to run. I'm going to play back all the footage and stuff like that, and hopefully it really makes a difference. I almost want to knock on my neighbor's door and be like, hey, did you hear a difference? Did it not vibrate your house as much, you know? So, but anyways, all right, cool. I'm going to wrap it up there because I want to get to the gym. I should be working right now. Like literally, I'm still logged on. I need to go back up to the office. But all right, hope you like that video. If you like that video, go ahead and click that like button and subscribe. And I'll see you guys this weekend, because there are there's a Cars and Coffee on Saturday that I just found out about. And then Sunday, there's like a night, relatively like a night show. It starts at 4, but it runs till like 7 or something like that, 7 or 8. So first time, I guess the vehicle will be out kind of like at nighttime. I don't know. I'll probably head home before like the sun goes down, you know. But yeah, all right, I'll see you guys soon. Bye.